Hello, I'm Jon Sermon, a church leader based in the UK, and in these short videos I'm recording most days at the moment, I'm offering some encouragement for our difficult situation. And you know, in some ways it seems to be getting more and more difficult as time goes on. Not only that we've had to live with restrictions to try and control the virus for so long, but certain parts of the country, particularly in the northeast at the moment, where those restrictions are having to be added to considerably, and indeed everywhere we're not able to loosen the situation as much as had been hoped a month or two ago. Alongside that, we get reports of the numbers of infections rising over 7,000 in a day today, and the numbers of deaths from COVID-19 continuing to rise. Admittedly, to nothing like the level at the peak of the pandemic, but a worrying trend. Locally here, we have just heard of an outbreak amongst the workers in a chicken processing factory, and as a result, local TV reporters were in our town today covering the issue. And we continue, therefore, to face the reality that for many with health issues, it's necessary to be extra cautious. For all of us, we need to maintain sensible discipline to avoid, wherever we can, the risk of infection spreading. And the pressure that might put us under, well, it depends on our circumstances, doesn't it? But if you've been on furlough and that's coming to an end, if you've needed to rely upon government help or other means of support because your circumstances are so difficult, inevitably it's very worrying. Now, what I wanted to mention today for encouragement, and this comes actually not from me directly, but from one of the elders in one of my two congregations, sent me something which really I found quite helpful. And what he wrote about, he wrote it in an email and wrote about how in his prayer time he had seen like a picture in his head that involved floats, the sort of floats that are linked in with fishing nets to keep the nets afloat. And he began to think about floating devices like that and things to help keep you afloat, like polystyrene blocks that some swimmers use in swimming pools, like various buoyancy aids that we could have, perhaps to help when learning to swim or to keep us safe on a boat, wearing a life jacket, or whatever the case may be. And his realization that he passed on to me was that actually knowing our relationship with God and trusting in God is a bit like one of these buoyancy aids, that however difficult the circumstances do become, we can realize from our relationship with God, our Creator, that we are safe and that we will be carried through like with a buoyancy aid. Now, for many of us, it's quite likely that you've never really thought like that. And indeed, you may have previously been in circumstances where you feel self-sufficient. The truth is, none of us are really self-sufficient. And actually relying on God is a sensible step, not what people call needing a crutch. But recognizing that we do not have the resources to control our environment and our circumstances and to make sure everything is fine for us is only sensible. But alongside that, to turn to God and ask for His help, bringing us through our difficult circumstances, is also sensible. And even if you've never thought it before, it's worth thinking now. It's worth realizing, it's worth exploring, trying praying, coming to realize that actually God loves you and is on your side and wanting to help you through. God bless you.